A very good afternoon and welcome to Midday News on Rajya Sabha television, where we bring to you the biggest developing news stories at the top of one, and of course all the updates from Parliament as well. I'm Aishwarya Kapoor and these are the headlines. Rajya Sabha adjourned till 2 p.m. after protests by Samajwadi Party and AAP MPs over law and order situation in Uttar Pradesh and Delhi sealing drive respectively. At start of proceedings, the chairman congratulates under-19 cricket team for the record World Cup win. Lok Sabha adjourned for the day after it pays a homage to late BJP MP Hukum Singh. 3 newly elected members also take oath at the beginning of the proceedings. President Ramnath Kovind inaugurates Nobel laureate seminar at the Rashtrapati Bhavan. Says India has age-old history of nurturing science and scientific thinking. An army captain and 3 jawans martyred in heavy Pakistani shelling in Poonch and Rajouri in Jammu and Kashmir. BSF sub-inspector and 4 civilians also injured. Schools within 5-kilometer radius of line of control closed for the next 3 days. And the Indian women's cricket team to take on South Africa in the first of the 3-match ODI series at Kimberley in a short while from now. Winner of the series will get a direct entry into the 2021 World Cup. First up, news from Parliament. Rajya Sabha was adjourned till 2 p.m. after protests by Samajwadi Party members over the issue of law and order in Uttar Pradesh. Aam Aadmi Party members also entered the well of the House on the issue of a Delhi sealing drive. The chairman asked the SP members to give notice under proper rules to raise the issue. He also said that none of further disruptions will go on record.
You just want to create trouble in the House and get some publicity. I will not accept this. That's why I have decided to adjourn the House up to 2 p.m. in the afternoon.
And the proceedings of the Rajya Sabha began with the chairman, M. Venkaiah Naidu, congratulating the under-19 cricket team for winning the World Cup for the record 4th time.
On behalf of the entire House and on my own behalf, I congratulate the Indian under-19 cricket team for winning the ICC under-19 World Cup held in Mount Wangonia in New Zealand on 3rd February 2018, and scripting history by becoming the only team to lift the coveted title for the record 4th time. This outstanding accomplishment of our young sportspersons is a matter of great pride for the entire nation. I hope that they would serve as a source of inspiration for our youth and budding sportspersons and encourage them to emulate and achieve greater heights in the world of sports. We wish all the players of the Indian under-19 team the very best for their future endeavours and hope that they will continue to make the country proud by their achievements.
And the chairman also took the House into confidence over his absence from the proceedings on Friday. As the Vice President of India, he also became the first constitutional authority to visit the largest tribal festival held in Medaram village in Telangana.
I will take the House into confidence. The other Friday, I could not be there in the House for the reason that there was a festival of tribals called as Medaram Jatara, which was attended according to government statistics their state by 1.5 crore people from around 8 states. The tribals, they came on their own, and also, of course, the government made arrangements. It was a big mini Kumbh Mela. So, as a Vice President who knows that region, I thought I should make a visit for that function. The Chief Minister of Telangana and also Chhattisgarh also is there. And it was a very, very, very thrilling experience to see such a big congregation of Adivasi tribals of our country. And they conducted themselves in a most disciplined manner. And it's called as Sammakka and Saralakka Jatara. That's called as, they treat them as one of the avatas.
And 3 newly elected members took oath or affirmation in the Lok Sabha today. Karan Singh Yadav of the Congress, who won the Lok Sabha by-poll from Alwar parliamentary constituency, took oath. Raghu Sharma of the Congress, who won from Ajmer parliamentary constituency in Rajasthan, also took oath. And Sajda Ahmed of the TMC, who won from Uluberia parliamentary constituency in West Bengal, also took oath today.
That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of India as by law established, that I will uphold the sovereignty and integrity of India, and that I will faithfully discharge the duty upon which I am about to enter.
And the Lok Sabha was adjourned for the day today after it paid homage to sitting BJP MP Hukum Singh. Singh was the MP from Kairana in Uttar Pradesh. He passed away at the age of 79 on Saturday.
3 फरवरी 2018 को 19वीं वर्ष की आयु में नोएडा उत्तर प्रदेश में हुआ। हम अपने साथी के निधन पर गहरा शोक व्यक्त करते हैं। मुझे विश्वास है कि शोक संतप्त परिवार के प्रति अपनी संवेदना व्यक्त करने में यह सभा मेरे साथ है। अब यह सभा दिवंगत आत्मा के सम्मान में कुछ देर मौन खड़ी रहे।
And the motion of thanks to President's address is slated to be introduced in the Rajya Sabha. In the Rajya Sabha, Amit Shah will initiate the motion of thanks and Vinay Pech Sahasrabudhe will second it. This will be Amit Shah's debut speech in the upper house. The upper house will discuss the motion of thanks over today and Tuesday. The budget session of Parliament, remember, began on 29th of January with the President's address to the joint sitting of Parliament. He spoke on various government schemes in his address. The President had said that the upliftment of farmers and their income is the prime objective of the government. He also spoke about the Clean India mission. He also highlighted the benefits of various government policies, saying that not only have they helped in securing the rights of the poor, but have also promoted digital transactions, enabling transparency and cutting corruption. My colleague Kriti Mishra is joining us live from Parliament. Kriti, as far as pre-lunch session is concerned, it was literally washed out after the protests by the Samajwadi Party members and also by the AAP members today in the House. Basically an unprecedented move really, because this saw even the question hour not being taken up today.
Well, that's right, Aishwarya. The upper house could not transact any business in the pre-lunch session today because of the protest by the Aam Aadmi Party members and also by the Samajwadi Party members. Remember, there were important zero-hour submissions to be raised of urgent public importance and also important questions that were slated to be taken up. In fact, the chair urged the members to allow the house to function. He also clarified that he would have allowed the agitating members to raise their issues, but according to the rules and procedures of the house, he also urged the members to give proper notices for raising any particular issue, but the members failed to pay heed to the request of the chairman and continued to protest. Amid din, TMC MP Derek O'Brien raised the issue of closure of train routes in West Bengal, and the chair also allowed CPM's KK Ragesh to raise his zero-hour mention, but amid din, nothing could be heard, so the chair adjourned the House till 2 p.m. So certainly the first half of today's budget session in the Rajya Sabha was certainly washed out because of the protest by the opposition members. Aishwarya?
Absolutely. And as far as the second half is concerned, Kriti, of course, the motion of thanks to President's address is slated to be introduced. All eyes will be on BJP President Amit Shah's maiden speech as he will initiate the motion of thanks. And we understand the House will still sit till about 8 p.m. for the same.
Well, that's right, Aishwarya. So this would be the maiden speech of BJP President Amit Shah. Remember, he was expected to make his maiden speech in last winter session when he was expected to speak on GST, on compensation to states bill, but that could not be taken up because of opposition's protest on anti-triple talaq bill. So today he would actually be making his maiden speech, and in fact MOS Parliamentary Affairs Vijay Goyal also clarified when we were speaking to him that he would begin his speech at 2 p.m. today. And certainly, Aishwarya, remember that President's address talked about the broad vision of the government, where it said that there should be a sustained debate on holding the Lok Sabha and Assembly elections simultaneously to avert the burden on governance and economy. It also talked about smooth passage of triple talaq bill. It also talked about government's resolve to double farmers' income by 2022, and most importantly, creation of New India, which is the aspiration of 130 crore people. So it would be an opportunity for Amit Shah to showcase the achievements of his government that have been endorsed successively by the popular mandates that this ruling dispensation has received in most parts of the country. Aishwarya?
Right, Kriti. Thank you so much for all those details. Then, and of course, Lok Sabha was adjourned after it paid homage to sitting BJP MP Hukum Singh. Let's talk about some other news now. The TDP has said that its alliance with the BJP in Andhra Pradesh and the centre was very much alive following speculation that the party was unhappy with the union budget allocations. After a crucial TDP parliamentary party meeting, Union Minister Y. Satyanarayan Chaudhary clarified that the alliance with the BJP is intact and said that these are just speculations. He added that the TDP would raise the state's demands if required in parliament. Some of the issues over which the TDP is miffed are the implementation of a special financial package for the state, setting up of a railway zone, deficient finance and the schemes related to development of Amravati as the state capital. Meanwhile, TDP MPs from both the houses today protested outside Parliament. They demanded that BJP-led central government must implement Andhra Pradesh Reorganisation Act, which is long overdue. And Prime Minister Narendra Modi has emphasized that recent general budget serves farmers and favours the middle class. Speaking at a public rally in Bengaluru on Sunday, he stressed that announcements in the budget will benefit the farmers. Now, highlighting the work culture of BJP based on Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, that also believes in improving ease of doing business, the Prime Minister charged that the Congress government in Karnataka is at the exit gate. Now, listing out the failure of the Karnataka state government in utilising the central grants properly, he said that despite the NDA government releasing nearly 3 times more central funds than the UPA, the state has failed to utilise them for the development projects. The Prime Minister was addressing the concluding day of the 85-day-long Parivartan Yatra.
कर्नाटक में कांग्रेस इस समय एग्जिट गेट पर खड़ी है और मैं देख रहा हूं कर्नाटक ने ठान लिया है कि कर्नाटक को कांग्रेस मुक्त करके ही रहेंगे। सरकार थी तब कर्नाटक को 73,000 करोड़ रुपए मिलते थे, लेकिन जब केंद्र में भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार बनने के बाद कर्नाटक को 2 लाख करोड़ रुपए से ज्यादा की राशि मिलना तय हुआ, यानी करीब करीब 180% की वृद्धि हुई, बढ़ोतरी हुई।
News from Nagaland now, where the BJP has released its list of 20 candidates for the forthcoming assembly elections in the state. Now, the list features the names of candidates for 10 districts, and state capital Kohima and parent district have been left out, and it does not feature the name of the state party chief Visasoli Longu. The BJP has become the first political party to release its candidates list for the polls, while the regional parties, tribal groups and civil society organizations in the state are demanding a solution to the Naga political issue first before the election. Meanwhile, some of the state-level party leaders have written to party chief Amit Shah expressing their resentment against the pre-poll alliance with the newly floated Nationalistic Democratic People's Party, or the NDPP. Longu was one among the signatories to this letter. NDPP is led by former Chief Minister Nifu Rio. The 60-member Nagaland Assembly poll goes to polls on the 27th of this month. Big story coming in from Jammu and Kashmir, where an army captain and 3 jawans were martyred and at least 4 people were injured as Pakistani forces resorted to heavy mortar shelling along the line of control in Poonch and Rajouri districts through the night. A BSF sub-inspector was also injured in the firing. Now, according to defence sources, Pakistani forces started unprovoked firing and shelling targeting some Indian positions as well as civilian areas in Shahpur sector on Sunday forenoon. Later, the shelling by Pakistani army was also extended to Manjakot and Naushera sectors of the adjoining Rajouri district. Army troops guarding the borderline retaliated the firing effectively. Till reports last came in, intermittent firing from both the sides is on. Now, following the Pakistani shelling, schools located within 5 kilometers radius from the line of control have been closed for the next 3 days.
फ्रिक्वेंटली हुई है पिछले कुछ दिनों में और बहुत लॉस भी हुआ है, बट आज शाम से काफ़ी एस्केलेशन रही है जिसमें सभी सेक्टर, जिसमें सुंदरबनी, नौशहरा, मंजाकोट, डूंगी एरिया, वहाँ पे वायलेशन हुई है, जिसमें स्मॉल आर्म्स थे शुरू में और उसके बाद हैवी शेलिंग भी, और उसके चलते 4 आर्मी के जो ऑफिसर्स हैं, 1 ऑफिसर और 3 जवान, उनका लॉस हुआ है, 1 BSF के सब इंस्पेक्टर, और काफ़ी ज़्यादा शेलिंग हुई है। इंटीरियर एरियाज़ भी अफेक्टेड हैं और इसके चलते हमें शायद माइग्रेशन भी लोगों की वहाँ से इफेक्ट करनी पड़ेगी, इवैक्यूएट करके उनको उसकी ज़रूरत हम फील कर रहे हैं। इसके अलावा सभी प्रिकॉशन लिए गए हैं वहाँ पे मेडिकल इमरजेंसीज़ के लिए और बाकी जो भी लोगों को इवैक्यूएट करने की ज़रूरत है। और 84 जो स्कूल्स हैं इस इलाके में वो आने वाले 3 दिन के लिए बंद रहेंगे। हम सिचुएशन को क्लोजली मॉनिटर कर रहे हैं। इसके बाद जो भी प्रिकॉशन लेने की ज़रूरत है या जो भी स्टेप्स लेने की ज़रूरत है इमरजेंसी रिस्पॉन्स के लिए वो हम लेंगे।
And Finance Secretary Hansmukh Adia has said that the sell-off in equity markets is due to a weak global sentiment and not because of long-term capital gains tax that was announced in the budget. He said that the 10% tax on long-term capital gains is a subsidized rate. As such, gains on a sale of unlisted scrips and immovable property are taxed at 20%. His remarks came on a day when the benchmark stock indices, Sensex and the Nifty dropped up to 1.6% in the morning trade, continuing their decline for a third session on heavy profit booking by the investors. In midday news, time for a very short break. We'll be back with more news. Stay tuned.
Hello and welcome to the National Elections Quiz 2018.
6 teams from South Zone
Andhra Pradesh,
Puducherry,
Karnataka, Tamil Nadu,
Kerala.
from Telangana.
fight it out for the finale.
So I need the name of a 172-year-old Government of India body.
Some hits, some misses.
And Kerala with 5.
Election Commission of India presents the National Election Quiz 2018. Watch the second semi-final Saturday at 5 p.m. only on Rajya Sabha TV.
Welcome back after the break. Now, President Ramnath Kovind today inaugurated Nobel Laureate Seminar at the Rashtrapati Bhavan in New Delhi today. Well, in his address, President Kovind said, President Ramnath Kovind said that the spirit of inquiry and curiosity of discovery are at the root of science. He said that India has an age-old history of nurturing science and scientific thinking. He added that science has helped us build our nation brick by brick. Kovind called upon the students who are doing research, saying that they must address quality capacity building and they must participate in national missions. The seminar was part of the Nobel Prize series that has been organized by Nobel Media in association with the Department of Biotechnology. It is the second edition of the prestigious series and will see 4 Nobel Prize winner scientists delivering lectures and interacting with the university students and experts. The series this year was inaugurated in Goa by Goa Chief Minister Manohar Parrikar, who launched an exhibition, the Nobel Prize Ideas Changing the World. And apart from Goa, programs are being held in Mumbai and Delhi as well.
From mathematics to astronomy, from the study of metals to the study of medicine, India has an age-old history of nurturing science and scientific thinking. We have recently created several central universities, Indian Institutes of Technology, All India Institutes of Medical Sciences, and Indian Institutes of Science, Education and Research. These investments will create a huge pool of scientists, clinicians, researchers, and technologists for a changing India. For these investments to bear fruit, these institutions and also our schools must be as good as the best in the world.
And Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu has said that news channels and papers must dedicate some space for crucial issues like health, education and social responsibility. He was addressing a gathering after inaugurating a cancer and diabetes health camp in Swarna Bharat Trust in Vijayawada on its second anniversary. The Vice President said that every citizen of the country must contribute for the welfare of the nation, adding that the country will prosper when women, youth and farmers are given their due. He said that diseases like cancer require early detection for better treatment and that lifestyle changes, environmental changes are the reasons for these health problems. He also said that we must have adequate facilities for identifying health problems to provide medicines on time. The Vice President asked everyone to understand the meaning of life and the purpose of our life. He asked people to realize the potential of the country's heritage and culture. Spirituality and family system are our greatest strengths. This system is a model for the whole world, he added. He further said that corruption has become a dreaded concern for the society and is spreading like a cancer, spoiling the nation's development. Honest practices must come into the system, he said. And the first International Kala Mela began in New Delhi at the Indira Gandhi National Arts Centre on Sunday. The festival was inaugurated by Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu. He congratulated the Lalit Kala Academy for fostering cultural contacts within the country and also with other countries through art exhibitions and such art festivals.
The Lalit Kala Academy, in partnership with Indira Gandhi National Centre for Arts and the Ministry of Culture, is hosting the first ever International Kala Mela. The festival was inaugurated by Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu. More than 800 artists from across the world are participating in the festival. While addressing the gathering, the Vice President said that culture is like the heartbeat of a civilization and it is an expression of its worldview and also a symbol of its value system. The Vice President welcomed the delegates from various countries and said that India is one of the oldest civilizations with an unmatched richness in culture and heritage, which are manifested in different art forms.
मैं अभी तेलंगाना में एक फेस्टिवल में होकर आया। वो फेस्टिवल स्थानीय फेस्टिवल है, मगर उसमें 8 प्रदेशों से लोग, महाराष्ट्र से, उड़ीसा से, झारखंड से, छत्तीसगढ़ से, तेलंगाना से, आंध्र प्रदेश से, सभी इलाका से जो आदिवासी मूल निवासी है, जिसको हम लोग अंग्रेजी भाषा में ट्राइबल कहते हैं, उन लोगों का एक जातरा, एक मेला, उनके उत्सव था। सरकार का कहना है 1,50,00,000 लोग आया। मैं हेलीकॉप्टर से देखा तो इतना सुंदर दृश्य, एक नया शहर वहां निर्माण हो गया, ऐसा मुझे लगा है ऊपर से देखने से।
With a total of 325 exhibition stalls, the festival has more than 800 participants from across the globe. It is open till February 17th. Art, sculpture, art installations, film festival and workshops are some of the highlights of this art festival.
कुछ विजुअल आर्ट फिल्म फेस्टिवल हम कर रहे हैं, कुछ वर्कशॉप्स कर रहे हैं, पेपर मैशे, पटचित्र, वैसा कुछ वर्कशॉप भी है। और इसका और एक स्पेशलिटी है कि वायलिन मेकिंग का एक वर्कशॉप भी हम कर रहे हैं। ऐसे बहुत कोलैटरल इवेंट्स इसके साथ हैं।
बड़ा एक प्लेटफॉर्म है जिसमें अलग अलग तरह के आर्टिस्ट जो हैं, अलग अलग एनवायरनमेंट, अलग अलग स्टेट से आए हुए लोग हैं, तो बहुत अच्छा प्लेटफॉर्म है। एक इंटरेक्शन जो है होगा सब आर्टिस्ट का, एक दूसरे का काम देखेंगे।
The inaugural ceremony culminated with a folk dance by a dance troupe from Sri Lanka. While Harish Gangani's Kathak recital Sargam wowed the audience. Irfan's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
And the Governor of Meghalaya met Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu today. Governor Ganga Prasad called on the Vice President at his residence. And apart from this, newly appointed Election Commissioner Ashok Lavasa also met Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu in Delhi today. And on to sports. An Indian women's cricket team will take on South Africa in the 3-match series at South Africa's Kimberley in a short while from now. And the 3-match series will give both the teams a chance to directly qualify for the 2021 ICC Women's World Cup. Now, Kimberley will also be the venue of the ODIs on 7th of February, while the series will finish in the Port Sheffield Room on 10th of February. Now, the centre for attention of the Mithali Raj team today will be 17-year-old Mumbai schoolgirl Jemimia Rodriguez, who has been a prolific scorer in the domestic competitions. And that's all in this edition of Midday News. Up ahead is Khabar Dopaher. Thanks for watching.